Death Watch.
Welcome back. If you remember last time, Graham had found himself on a massive spider web after falling down a deep pit and being separated from his companions. And there was a mummy that gave chase to him down there. And then he saw a large spider, but the spider left him alone. And then as he traversed this spider web looking for a way out, he heard a high-pitched scream of terror and then was tackled by another elf and pulled off of the spider web to fall once more. And that was the last we heard of Graham. So Graham, we'll start with you. You're dead. So you guys, I'm just kidding. You're not dead, Graham. You are falling, and as you fall, this other elf is looking at you with his eyes wide in sheer terror. But after like a second, like they zero in on you, like he's caught a hold of himself and realized what's going on. And then he snarls in rage at you and starts trying to pull a dagger out of his belt. But it's your move. So as you're falling, you can't really see any surroundings. You're basically just falling through the blackness now. There is a little bit of light given off by you. You had your armor illuminated to make your way through the spider web, so you can see yourself and him, but nothing else as you fall.
Well, I think I had my dagger out, but it seems grotesque to kill somebody before they die from a long fall.
Wouldn't he technically be flat-footed?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are falling creatures flat-footed?
I don't know.
Well, I would assume that you're denied your dexterity if you can't
Maneuver?
But I think I want to push away from him.
Okay.
You know, like maybe I'll propel myself off of him somehow.
Yeah.
Like kick off of him. Go swimming. Because you can swim through the air, right?
That's how it works in WoW, yeah.
Right.
But no, just like push away from him. Try to free fall somewhere
Okay.
away from him. What do you need me to roll?
Well, you can do a escape artist or grapple, maybe, whichever is better.
Let's take a look here. +3. I think my grapple wins out.
This is really one of those worlds where as soon as you cut scene down from the ground, you'll come back from the top.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can just sneak attack him, gain momentum.
I see. Here's my grapple check. Looks like I automatically failed it.
Should have taken it more seriously.
Or I rolled an 8. I'm not sure. Is a grapple an auto-fail one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you start trying to maneuver, get your legs into position to push off of him, but he seems to understand what you're trying to do. So he grabs a hold tighter, and just the fact that you're falling, you can't get any leverage.
So seeing it failed, could I, because I got 2 attacks, could I try to slash at him then?
Yeah.
Because you're moving as a free action right now.
That's true. Okay.
Oh, that's freaking genius.
What?
That's how you get around the not being able to make multiple attacks in a round after moving type of thing. You just have someone else catapult you.
All right, so I lash out with Bloodtooth in panic mode. Here we go. Looks like I got a 21.
Okay. Let's see.
Unless are we technically grappled? I think I have a -4 on it as well.
Yeah. Oh, let me share. Well, I guess we don't need to share it. All right. Yeah, so that's a hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
Looks like I did 2 slashing, 2 acid. Or 4 slashing, 2 acid. Or piercing.
Okay.
I want it to be piercing.
I think it is piercing. It's kukuris or kukuris, however you pronounce their slashing.
I think it was a upgraded property to my special weapon.
Right, you're slashing with Bloodtooth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so you're trying to fight your way free, and he's trying to hang on to you, and then you slash him across the chest with your dagger and draw blood, but you continue to fall.
That uses up my action, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I could talk to him a little bit.
Before you hit the ground, couldn't you jump off of him and negate the fall damage?
Yeah, that's, I guess I'll have to ready my next action. Think about it.
Every video game with double jump, John.
Yeah, but then you got to take double damage as you.
Well, no, because
down.
you slowed your acceleration.
Yeah, I get it. I know.
It works.
I still think you should break your legs off of their body.
We did the math.
All right, so he tries the same thing. He pulls out that weird dagger of his and tries to slash at you, but he misses. And he tries it again, and this time, you know, in the scuffle, you manage to get up a hand to block, and you know, you strike his hand, and it stops him well short, and it causes him to drop his dagger.
Mm.
Oh.
So it goes spinning off into the darkness.
So it'll go through the edge, come back around, and sneak attack both of you.
Okay, and that will bring us to your turn. And you've continued to fall. You can't even imagine how far yet. But you've been falling this whole time.
Well, I'll shout at him. You need to stop this. And I'll ready an attack for any sign of aggression.
Just wait till one of you bursts into flame before you fall into a lake.
Okay. Yeah, so he doesn't respond. Instead, he starts reaching towards his boot to pull out he's got a knife down there that he's trying to pull out. So.
Okay, I'll count that.
Yeah.
And but I'll attack with half a mind for my defense. So I will attack defensive or fight defensively.
Dang.
That is a critical hit. So go ahead and roll damage, just regular damage, and I'll turn it into a critical.
Hold on, I think I can do it too, right, with the modifiers. I like to try it. I've never used it. We'll see if it works. Seems like it did. Yep, just a low roll.
Okay.
So 10 damage.
It works.
Was it supposed to do the burst?
I don't have that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bloodtooth is different.
Mine's just aciding. Aciding? Caustic?
Caustic would work.
Caustic.
Bernie. All right, so yeah, he goes reaching for this knife at his boot, and then you stab him right through the chest, and he shrieks and loses his hold on you as he reaches to cover the wound you just put in. So you have now effectively drifted out of range. I mean, you can still see him.
Okay.
But the struggle has pushed you far enough away that you can't reach each other.
Well, clearly the only option now is to get... I don't see any structure around, you said?
No, you don't.
Well, I'll probably fumble at trying to move in a free fall. I don't know how to do it. I don't know. What would I do? What roll would approximate it?
Dex.
Yeah, just be a dexterity, because you'd have to,
Do you have any rope on you?
No, I had to put my silk rope in the bag of holding. Looks like I only got a 9.
Yeah, so the idea that pops into your head is to sort of, go horizontal, have your arms out. And you do that, but you don't seem to feel any appreciable difference. And the only thing you have to gauge where you are on that plane is this other elf, and you don't gain or lose any distance from him. So you've got yourself into the right position, but so far you haven't been flapping your wings hard enough.
Okay.
Okay, so then you continue to fall.
Pull out your extra skin.
All right,
Make
so
like a kite.
you're falling, and so you've been falling long enough now that your brain is working properly. It's past the point of panic reaction to falling to now you can look around and start to form thoughts. Yeah. And as you're looking down below you, and then suddenly there's a rock outcropping, right? It's like a finger of rock sticking into the darkness there, and this other elf slams into it just with insane force. You can hear bones pop and shatter, blood spurts out everywhere, and you're so close to it that you can feel it brush against your hair, but you continue to fall, and you look up and you can see blood and viscera falling after you, keeping the same distance.
Don't let it touch you.
No, let it touch you. Swim into it.
So then you continue to fall, and after that rock outcropping, you don't see anything but blackness again.
This is just your life now.
So you've got this area around you that's illuminated from your armor, and beyond that, it's just complete blackness, and there's not even really much sound. I mean, you can hear the wind rushing by, but it really just feels sort of peaceful. Like if you didn't know you were falling at this point, you wouldn't be able to tell you're falling. And then below you spot something pop into existence, and you realize it's another spider web. The strands on this one are much smaller, and you don't. Well, go ahead and do a reflex save for me.
Looks like I got a 15.
It does look like that. All right. So the way you're falling, this spider web has sort of a different pattern. It's more of a grid pattern than the one up above, which has a pattern that I don't know the name of. But the way that you are falling, it looks to you like you'll pass right through an open square in this grid. But with that dex check, you can, with that reflex, I'll let you maneuver so that you will hit the web, or I'll let you not hit the web.
I guess I'll try to hit the web.
Okay.
You're going to get cut into squares.
All right.
This is a non-flexible web.
By the garrote spider.
Yeah.
How fast am I traveling, Justin?
You're probably maximum velocity by now.
Is it like 320 feet per second?
Yeah, I'm like 6 miles away from you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try to angle for the web.
Yeah,
Be a
you
lot
do.
of stairs to walk down.
You angle for that web, and the way you're flattened out with your arms out, trying to get some air resistance, and you manage to move yourself over just enough that you catch this cable on your chest and another one on one of your legs, and you continue to fall, but you can feel it tightening underneath you as you're falling down, and it's stretching and stretching and stretching, and you definitely feel your momentum slow down significantly, and you've reached just the point where your momentum has completely stopped, and it snaps, and you can hear this extremely loud twang as this spider web snaps. This one's about like
Now use the tendrils.
as thick as your arm. So then you continue. Then you're falling yet again. But about a second later, there's more, and this time it's thicker. The grid is not so large, not large enough for you to fall through in your current orientation, laid out flat. And so you hit that, and once again, you continue to fall as it stretches out, and as you look at this web, you can see that it's really old, really old.
This means that it's a bigger spider.
And then as you reach that point where it would stop your momentum, it snaps again, and you fall some more. But after that web snaps, now you can see the light of your armor is now reflected against a liquid surface down below. And you realize that it's water, but who knows how deep. It could be an inch deep. And, you know, human being can drown in an inch of water.
Teaspoon of water, even.
Yeah. So, but do a...
yeah, I'd like to orient myself so I'm no longer going to belly flop into it, at least.
Okay.
As another dex check.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Yeah, do a dex check.
Okay, this time I got an 18.
Nice. Should have deployed your flaps.
All right, so instinctively you get your feet underneath you and your arms tight to your sides. Just how you would align yourself jumping off some of the shorter cliffs back home into the ocean.
Or the sand. That's a
or even
callback
the sand,
reference.
And you strike the water, and luckily your speed was significantly less due to these webs, but you're still effectively falling 60 feet, and we'll let that check you did turn one of those into a subdual.
So 150 damage, 1 subdual damage.
So as you hit this water and knife through it, you take 18 damage plus 2 subdual, and I put that on there. You don't need to, unless you want more damage. Totally.
No, I know I've had experience with this. Gets in the little cracks, like, never mind. Yeah,
But
pretty painful.
You're the hero of the sea.
So
Not the hero of falling into the sea.
you're
Become one.
slicing into the water. You've got your body aligned correctly. So you know from being a kid and other instinctive knowledge that you possess that this shape you've taken is perfect for going down as far as you can, but also for hurting as little as possible. So it's sort of a double. But at that speed you were falling, and based on your experiences, you think that if the bottom is less than 20 feet down, that you'll reach it, but you don't. So that's you in the water now, and it's totally black. It's actually not cold either, which you would have expected. It's pretty warm, almost as warm as you would do for like a bath. But there you are, under the water.
Well, after a slow shot of my disoriented form floating in the dark liquid there, then I got my equilibrium back. I'll activate my ring of water walking.
Okay. Yeah, so you activate that ring, and it slowly just starts pulling you to the surface, which, as it turns out, was not the direction you initially thought. Right?
Okay. So does it start pulling me down?
Yeah, well,
just because I'm disoriented.
You've been disoriented, so you didn't, but it starts pulling you to the surface. And as your head pops through the surface of the water, you look around, and there's none light, because even from your armor, I mean, that's all under the water. So like you can look down and you can see your chest, you can see your breastplate, but it's not illuminating the area you're in. So you're just looking into darkness right now.
I think I want to transfer the light, ineffective as it is, to my blade and darken my armor.
Okay.
But I will pick a direction at random and just try to start moving.
Okay.
What's the listen roll to successfully use echolocation?
I don't know.
Is that epic level?
I think it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think you might have to your brain might have to practice with it for a long time.
All right. So you transfer the light to Bloodtooth, or you activate the light feature of Bloodtooth, turn it off on your armor, and Bloodtooth's light is actually like a red, and it's maddeningly useless.
Well, tell him, just because you're a dagger, you don't have to be so edgy.
Yeah, he says, nobody understands me. And nobody ever will.
I understand you, Bloodtooth.
Yeah, it is. It does have a red tinge to it, but you know, I mean, and I guess I shouldn't say useless. I mean, you can still see in it. I guess it lights up a 20-foot radius, sort of like a torch.
Red
It
haze.
just plays weird tricks with your eyes.
Yeah.
You know, because it's got the shadows are different now, and it's something you'd have to adjust to. But as you hold that up, you do see that there is dry land about 20 feet away
Okay.
from you. It's not like a beach or anything. It's just water and then suddenly stone, right? Like this is a pool. And yeah, so that's what you see from here.
Yeah, that's what I'll head towards.
Okay. So you swim over to that, and as you get to that edge there, you can feel with your legs that it's a pretty flat, straight bank, right? Like you don't even feel the bumpy contour that it would be if it was raw stone. It feels like it had been smoothed at some point. And now from where you're at, you can see the wall. You can see a wall to the west of you, to your left, I should say. And you can see that wall has been worn smooth in a certain section as far up as you can see. And it
Worn smooth from like water running over
right,
it?
you
Yeah.
deduce that water used to or sometimes runs down that wall into this pool here.
Do I see like a pipe or something high up?
No, you can't see that. Up as far as you can see up, you don't. You just see rock.
How does the surface look for climbing?
That surface looks like it would be extremely difficult to climb.
What about around the smooth?
And you can see a lot of like moss and lichen or whatever. But so that doesn't look like it would be easy to climb. But there is dry ground that I guess that's looking at the wall to your left. But right now you're like on the edge of this pool, and straight ahead of the direction you were going, you can see 20 foot, or I guess, you know, a little more of dry, flat ground.
Okay, well, I guess I'll sort of systematically begin exploring the limits of this ground. So I'll sort of stick to the bank and move along it.
Oh, still in the water?
No, I'll get on the land
Okay.
itself.
Yeah, so you climb out. All right. So when you climb out, so you're getting 40 feet. You can see
Okay.
40 feet, right? I mean, up before you fell, you remember that your vision wasn't working the way it should have with the lighting.
Yeah.
Lighting wasn't working the way it should have. Down here, it seems to be. And so you can look around and see that this cavern you're in, the ground stays flat, and up ahead, the walls sort of come to meet each other into like a tunnel up ahead. You don't see any other features besides this flat ground and the rough stone walls. Rough everywhere except where that waterfall would be or would have been at some point.
Well, I think I'll keep. Sorry, did you say there's a tunnel at the ground level?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll angle for that and sort of hold blood teeth ahead of me and peer into the opening and down that tunnel.
Okay.
How does it look constructed? Is it some sort of natural event or like somebody made it?
Right. So both. You can see it's about 8 feet high and 5 feet wide, and the top of it is rounded and rough and of different features or contour, but the floor is smooth, and then the walls of that tunnel are bricks up to about 4 feet, and then the bricks stop as if the work wasn't finished at some point. So at some point some work was done on it, but it didn't finish.
Are there any tools or anything lying around?
No, and you can see along the walls in here those lines that are left when water rushes through an area and then rises to a certain point and stays for a while. And then
How high up
recedes.
the tunnel does that?
All the
High
way,
wall. Oh, okay.
pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to be quick. But yeah, I think I'll actually. Graham might not pick that up right away. But yeah, I'll progress into the tunnel. I'll take my time and pause every now and then to listen
Okay.
for a beat before I continue on.
All right. So you're taking your time moving through this tunnel. As soon as you enter it and your light shines out ahead of you, you can see that only 10 feet and it opens back up into a wider area. And do a listen.
Looks like I got a 21.
All right. So you move forward a little bit and then you see that and then you stop and you listen and you hear like a light hum is the best way to describe it. You can't gather any information about it, like which direction it comes from or what's causing it. It's just a low, light hum is the only sound you hear. And it's not even clear to you that it's a real sound or just
My imagination.
water draining out of your ear or whatever.
Okay. Does it? So I can't really identify anything. It seems to be coming from everywhere at once. Or,
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep pushing forward then. But same process,
Okay. Yeah, so as you get to the end of this tunnel and look out into this wider room, it's a natural sort of rounded room, maybe 20 feet in diameter. But against the opposite wall from you is a large stone staircase leading up. The first 3 or 4 steps are broken and crumbled away, but the rest of it looks solid. Yeah, so that's what you see in there.
Okay. So I guess I'll head up that stairwell. Do you mean it's like it's so broken I won't be able to traverse up past a certain point, or?
No, as in you're going to have to walk up to it, and then the first usable step is about chest level, so you're going to have to hoist yourself up. But...
Yeah, I'll hoist myself up on it and start heading up those steps.
Yeah, so as you get up to it there, you can see that those first steps that are broken and crumbled, you can see the evidence of water rushing in and slamming against it and eventually scooping stone out from underneath them. And that's what caused that. But you get up onto this staircase, and it goes upward for, you gather about 30 feet and brings you in. And once you reach the top of it, now you've got brick wall. And that makes this passageway pretty uniform because they put the brick all the way up to the ceiling of it. And it's curved up there. It's domed up there. And up there, those bricks were painted at some point. You can see evidence that there used to be some painting on them, but it's worn away now. But mostly you think by time, because there's no evidence that the water's reached up here, right?
Okay.
So it gives you an idea that it's really old. And let's see, what else of interest? There's no dust nor footprints on the floor. So you can't gather if it's traveled or not.
Has the quality of that humming sound changed at all?
No, that remains the same.
Okay. Yeah, just keep going up.
Yeah, so 20 feet away from the top of that staircase is another staircase leading up. And you get up that one, and you enter a squared room. And the only feature of it is a massive circular staircase leading up.
Like in the center of the room or whatever? Okay.
Yeah, it leads up into the ceiling where, you can't see. It's past this certain point. Like 10 feet up, and that's where the ceiling is, but this staircase juts up through it. And the first bit of this staircase is broken away. What's your climb skill?
+2.
So it will require a climb to get up onto get up to where you can start walking up these steps.
Okay. Looks like I got a 13.
Okay. Yeah, so you hop up and you grab that bottom one, and as you do, you realize that you didn't look to see that it would hold your weight before you did that, but it does, and you're relieved by that. And you pull yourself up, as you're like, I should have looked, but you pull yourself up and start walking up this circular staircase. And
I think I'll pause at that point. Maybe the climbing triggered some of the injuries I sustained in my fall and realize,
right.
Oh, I probably should heal myself.
Okay.
And I'll try to use that obsidian wand on me. So here's my use magic.
Well, hang on a second. So you you hop up there, you pull yourself up, you take a couple of steps to get, so you're not right to the edge. And you're like, well, I'm wounded and I need to. So you grab out that wand and you sit down and you get ready to use it. And then suddenly the light goes away.
From Bloodtooth?
Mm-hmm. You're in total darkness. From Bloodtooth, you feel as though your armor is heavier now.
What happens if I put the wand away? Like, put it back in my pack? Because the suspicion that crept into Graham's mind is maybe this is some of Bloodtooth's errors.
Well, yeah, nothing happens when you put it back into your bag. You just this is like when the magic failed.
Oh, okay.
And the magic was gone. That's the situation you're in.
So when I try to use that wand,
no light source.
nothing happens.
Okay, you did your music. Roll a percentile in the tower. No, nothing happens. So you're there in the dark with this wand, and it doesn't work. You can't see your hand in front of your face. Magic is gone, so your armor's heavier. And that's the situation you're in. All right. So Fenrith and Casimir and Rohan, you had seen this bugbear on the other side of this large room.
Could you share them?
Yeah, I will.
With us? Okay.
And you'd been moving that direction. This bugbear had shouted something, and then you'd heard footsteps behind him. And as you were moving forward, Rohan, I believe, you heard the sound of stones scraping against stone. So let me share this. Let me reshare this map here. You all see it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and do a new initiative.
Back to the best
Nice.
part of dice. That update removed the ability to roll above a 10 on a d20.
There's
Wow,
a
I
13.
did get a crit so far. But yeah, I have a tendency to roll low.
I think last time we had some pretty decent rolls, so this time we should
Time to pay.
fail everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So you hear the stone scraping against stone. And who's in the lead there? Rohan, you hear that.
The first to die.
And then you can see clearly this bugbear over here at the other side. Is he illuminated for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see him.
Yeah.
Savage bugbear cleric.
Yeah. So, and you can just see movement behind him, shapes moving behind him, coming towards you as well.
Okay.
Oh, me and you block the hallway, John?
Yeah.
Or get bombarded by cleric spells?
So, Casimir, that makes it your turn.
No. You want me to move like one away from the end? Or do we want to go around the corner and block?
Yeah, let's go around the corner and block it.
All right. That way?
Yep.
All right. I'll move there and I'll ready for if an enemy gets close.
Okay.
Meaning he's going to stab me when I try and get behind him.
Yep.
All right. Let's take Graham off of here for now.
I'd like to think that he now that he's in a better place, he threatens all
Everybody.
dimensions. Yeah.
Yeah, get a little ways back there so you can start putting arrows in people.
I'm still chasing down that dragon.
Well, that's the way he went.
Yep.
Rohan,
All right.
your move.
Let's see. 10 to there. And then 30. I'll do a full double move. Is the darkness still there from last time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
like
still there.
10 minutes.
Where does that
Per level.
start?
Right about where your
Right
30
where your
end is.
30 mark is, actually. Here, let me do this.
Remember your training, though, Rohan. Tactics and whatnot.
Charging blindly, shooting at things?
Mm-hmm. But also be an arrow sponge for me.
Yeah. As
I prefer it that way.
also, every single day we were in training, remember that our instructors said, don't chase down a wounded dragon when enemies are at your back.
I don't remember them saying that.
They said it every single day.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, so I don't know it.
Okay, can you see that marker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where the darkness is. So
All right.
you just can't. I mean, you can see it's shadowy illumination.
Okay. Can I hear anything coming from that direction?
No.
The dragon is jeering you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stop here. And I will ready an attack action in case anything comes around that corner.
You see a red glowing light approaching.
Yep, fire.
It's me, Graham. I don't remember you having a red light.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, is
The
that
only
your
ones
turn?
I've seen with red lights are the enemies with their red glowy weapons and stuff.
Their teeth.
Yeah.
Their teeth glow red.
So is Graham pulling a full Bilbo Baggins here?
Yeah, probably.
All right, yeah, I'll pass my turn on.
He does need a ring of invisibility.
It does.
I had invisibility in my ring of Spellstorm, but I used that.
It's not quite the same if it's
That's
a
true.
ring of invisibility.
So, can we position ourselves in this hallway to fully block it, Brandon?
Yeah.
Okay. This is all, I think that's a 5 foot. And then already, well, actually, I should probably heal one of you. Probably.
Do you guys want to pull like 5 feet farther back so that we actually have to draw them around the corner?
Yeah.
That way I can get a little bit of a cleaner shot.
Okay. So I guess I'll move 10 feet.
Okay.
And then,
All right. Is that your turn?
yeah, well, already ready action to attack if an enemy comes within my range.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to. Okay, go ahead and send it along.
Here you go. Where'd you get these?
Etsy.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, they got lots of kind of cool custom stuff on there.
Are they all the same?
Yeah, each one's different.
Nice.
All right. So now, Rohan, let me.
It's too much.
All right. So is that where everybody wants to be? Is that how you
Did you
want
want to come back? Or are you?
Well, I ended my turn where I
that's
ended
right.
my turn.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably facing the other way, though.
Now you hear the sounds of boots, mailed boots scraping against stone out there in the darkness. Sounds to you like one set so far.
Tell them to quit dragging their feet.
Yeah, hurry up.
All right, let me.
Ah.
Whoa.
Someone cast Deeper Darkness
Look at this.
on the entire Underdark.
So, Ron, you hear some boots in the darkness.
From behind darkness?
What are you talking
The
about?
darkness down that
Oh,
way, right?
Well, I guess it might depend on. Yeah.
The dark area where the dragon had cast dark.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay, Casimir, that brings us to you.
All right. I will 5 foot back, and I will keep an action ready. That's my turn.
Okay.
How good your listen, Justin?
Very good.
Well, if you can beat a DC, whatever it is, by 20, then you can pinpoint the location.
Echolocation?
Sorta, I guess.
Are you telling him to roll to see if he can hear you?
Rohan, your turn.
It's me.
So I hear something coming up from behind me, right?
Yeah, if you're facing the other way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, not knowing what it is, I will try and pinpoint it with a listen and fire in that direction.
They're behind us.
Okay.
Could be
And
them.
I'll actually 5 foot step closer to these two as well.
Okay.
Was it them hobgoblins that swore vengeance on
Oh,
you?
yeah, those
I've
guys.
been waiting for them to pop back up.
Forgot all about them.
So
All right. So, okay. So go ahead and draw a
Kind of
pointer.
suck, right? Someone comes along and
Draw
just takes all your
a pointer somewhere in that area, which is you guessing which square.
did my listen give me any?
I'll take it into account if it did.
Okay. Let's see. How do I draw a pointer? Pointer there. We
You
go.
can hold both mouse buttons
Draw an
and draw. Or you can hold control in both, and that'll make a circle.
Shooting just straight down the main part of the hallway seems the best course of action.
All right, so go ahead and roll a percentile in the tower, please.
But I'll fire all 3 of my shots.
Okay.
So 3 percentiles, or
Is it 1 attack or 3 attacks?
it's 3 attacks.
Yeah, 3 percentiles then.
Okay.
Now you got to roll them all again because you said the
in
tower.
the tower.
You could have reminded me after the first one rather than waiting for me to roll all
No.
3.
It was better this way.
Well, I didn't realize it first, or I would have.
Yeah, well, she doesn't know
Sorry.
that all
I
of
messed
us.
it up. He didn't know.
All right.
You ever think, Graham, that he doesn't want to hear you?
I'm not even here.
Okay. Make one.
How long would it take you to watch?
So those are your
6 miles?
percentiles.
Yep.
Okay, make 3
couple
attack
hours.
rolls then.
Okay.
On flat ground.
What about upstairs? Days.
Years.
No one likes going upstairs. That's why they built that elevator right by the door.
I think we hiked like a mile elevation change one time, and we had
Okay,
one
go ahead and roll
overnight
damage.
camp.
How many?
1 damage.
Nice. Maximum damage.
Maximum impact.
Okay. So you send some arrows down, and you hear a couple skip off stone, but another one you hear the telltale sign of it thunking into something, and you hear a curse,
Hear Graham screaming.
a guttural curse.
Okay. And I'll say, they're coming up behind us before I pass my turn on to the next person.
Before you pass.
Fenrith.
So, did we hear the boots coming from the direction the cleric was in as well?
No.
No? Okay. Well, I will, Rohan, you're right next to me now?
Yep.
Okay. So I will turn and cure, which one is that? Cure moderate on Rohan.
Okay.
Yeah, switch places with us, Justin.
Well, best case scenario for me is if one of you's on each side.
All right.
I will sacrifice the restore lesser.
Okay. So Rohan, you heal 18 points of damage as Fenrith comes up, grabs a hold of you, and you can hear him cast that spell. So your wounds start to stitch together, and you feel a little better, but you still are quite injured.
Yep. Thank you, Fenrith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I saved that other inflict serious wound casting, so when you do use it, let me know and I can cast it for you.
Okay.
Remember to untarget me before you cast that one.
Nope. Hits everybody.
All right. So
I always want to grab this map to move it around, right? And that just feels natural, doesn't it?
Can't you set it up that way?
I have no idea. Can
Oh,
you?
no, that's roll 20, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was for the first while. I thought that you couldn't even move the map because it wasn't doing that. I didn't know these arrows did.
Mouse click does too. Middle mouse.
Oh,
Oh.
wow! It's so pretty.
Game changer.
It is.
okay. So Rohan, you hear some odd language. Sounds like it comes from a mouthful of slobber and marbles.
Can you?
But it definitely forms a word,
Figure it out.
and just like that, this darkness disappears.
They shouldn't have done that. Now I can shoot them easier.
Well, also, if they're good and potentially on our side, now we have to worry about our alignment changing if we want to continue to attack them.
I don't have an alignment change if they don't tell me they're good people. They haven't said anything to me.
I'm just saying that now we're going to have to take it into account. This just isn't blind firing into darkness and hoping you hit something, which is kind of chaotic. Are you chaotic?
I'm neutral.
I'm chaotic. Good.
Yeah, see, it's a him's tactic.
So, as soon as that darkness disappears, you hear this loud scream, echoing off the walls as this creature charges you from down the hallway.
Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah, it is a halfling, and it's much like that first halfling you encountered. It doesn't have the telltale jovial features and big belly. This one has been twisted by madness and hatred, and it wears the black armor, and it's got a great axe, which
Hatchet for us.
yes, yeah, right.
It's an armored Chucky doll.
Mm.
Now I'm actually afraid.
You don't see anything else in the hallway, and the voice that you heard dispel the darkness sounded different than this guy's, but
And then that door at the end, didn't that get ripped off the hinges by the dragon?
yeah, it did.
Okay. So does this halfling have one of my arrows sticking out of him?
No, the arrow is not. There's no arrow sticking out of it. But
Okay. So it doesn't look
you
like
do
this
see
is...
a little blood trail behind him.
Okay.
So, right. So here's what you see. As he charges you, screaming with his filed teeth bared, there is a shield twirling around him, much like Fenrith's shield it does from time to time. You see he's got a couple of what would be darts to you, but javelins to him on his belt. But right now he's got this battle axe raised above his head, and he's charging you down the hallway. He's got a breastplate, but it's that black color with the dull red glow to it. Anyway, that's what you see. He's screaming and charges you. Let's see. Hits.
Yeah, that's a hit. 9 damage.
Well, yeah, it's actually 9 damage and then 3 sonic damage. So as it strikes you, you hear this loud boom, and you can feel the force push into you.
Do you want me to update that extra damage or?
No, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Sonic boom.
Isn't that thundering? Is that the enchantment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. So 3 is you got to change the setting though. No.
All right, Casimir.
I'm going to
You definitely hear boots coming from
behind us. Or?
yeah,
Okay.
the way that the bugbear was.
Okay. Let me double check it. I'm going to cast See Invisibility, or attempt to. I believe it is just once it's on me, it has a duration. There we go. Yeah, 10 minutes a level. So I'm going to attempt to cast that. Okay, that goes off.
Okay.
And I will look the direction the halfling came from, where the words came from, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see anything down there.
Okay. And that's my turn.
Okay. Graham, you're sitting on this staircase. The magic isn't working. It's dark. You can hear that hum, but nothing else. What do you do?
Well, I was sitting there trying to go through all of my magic items that might produce light, so, just to see maybe if one of them might work. But I assume that they all don't, including the ever-burning torch.
Right.
So the only thing I can think of that might give me momentary flashes of what's going on is I have flint and steel, so maybe I could make a spark and see if that gives me any sort of light. Otherwise, I'll have to feel my way up these steps.
Right.
Like, that would be my idea, is I would sort of travel a little ways and then maybe spark just
Okay.
to see if there's a spider right in front of me before it attacks me.
Okay. Okay. So you'll travel up the stairs doing that, so feeling your way with your hands and then sparking your flint and steel from time to time. And that, when you spark it, that gives you just enough illumination to tell that there's not a spider in your face.
Right. Yeah,
and
I figured.
that the stairs still exist in front of you. So yeah, it's pretty slow going.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll progress that way until something changes.
Okay. All right, Rohan. So you've got this halfling right in front of you with this battle axe. What do you do?
I'm going to take a step up, kind of put my back against the wall and say, Fenrith, I'm going to need a little help here. And then I will provoke an attack of opportunity while firing all 3 of my shots at him. So he gets his attack first.
It makes it harder to help
Oh, no.
when you provoke attacks of opportunity and take more damage.
I rolled a 20 and then a 1 to confirm. So 12 damage. Oh,
Okay.
plus the sonic.
Yeah. So 1 more of those, and I may be out of the fight.
Okay.
So 3 arrows at him.
Mm-hmm. All right. All 3 arrows hit.
Okay. Do you need them separately or?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So these 3 arrows thunk into him, but he barely seems to notice.
Okay.
And you can tell that the electricity's not having the effect that it normally would. Like, it definitely goes off, but it doesn't seem to bother him like you would expect.
Okay. And that was my turn.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes okay, that's your turn. All right.
Am I unable to understand what this thing's been saying still? Because I used, what was it, tongues last session to understand the last, what was it, the elf? Savage elf that was in the room up here. Is that the same language?
Yes, it is. So he's just been cursing.
Okay.
But Fenrith, it's your move.
All right. So I'll 5 foot up, and I'll, in his language, I'll start taunting him, making fun of his size, and then I'll attack him.
Okay. All right, both attacks hit. All right, so yeah, you do 2 sword strikes, and they slice into him really good, and definitely deal serious damage to him.
All right, I'll tell Rohan to get behind me, and I have a potion in my pack,
Okay.
and then that would be it.
Okay. Yeah, so that brings us to him. So you taunt him and then you slash him real good. And so he you see his face contort to a level that shouldn't be possible. And he lets out a scream. And he turns his attention to you and swings at you with his axe a couple of times. Yeah, so he slices into you twice. 16 damage, and then 17 damage, and then 3 sonic, and another 4 sonic.
I'll take it back. He's not cute anymore. He's going to single-handedly party wipe us.
Well, this is probably one of those fights where we're meant to die.
I'm starting to think that, because we've still got the bugbear and a sorceress on the other side.
All right, that's its turn.
Do you guys need me to step in there or something?
Nah, we're good.
Okay.
You can step in once we're down.
I was if Rohan jumps behind me there, step up.
Well, we got people coming from the other way.
Oh,
Now,
that's
too.
right. Yeah.
You hear more boots coming down the hallway behind this halfling, and 2 figures round that corner and charge your direction.
Around which corner?
Where the door was torn off the hinges.
Just zoom in far enough to where you can only see your token and the token next to you, and it won't really matter which direction they come from. You'll see them when they get there. That's ultimate fight.
You can zoom out really far in this.
Dust monk.
All right. So what you notice is that these are the hobgoblins that you left. So one of them is smaller, about your size. The other one is significantly bigger. That bigger one, they both rush up and they start attacking this halfling with their fists and feet and knees. That small one has, his hands are flaming, and the other one just has his bare hands because you took all of his stuff.
Sorry.
Right. So the first one is the adult. The second one is the younger of the 2. And so that first one comes running down the hall, does like this flying knee thing. And the other one does a more careful, punch, kick sort of thing.
Are they getting me or Justin?
They're attacking the halfling.
Yeah, unless they're
what?
large, they're not.
They're
in
attacking
range.
the halfling, yeah.
Did we fight them too early last time or something?
We didn't fight them.
Oh yeah, they came out of the wall. And then me and...
No, the one came out of the wall. The other one was at the feet of the cleric.
Was it?
Yeah, he was like
Yeah.
unconscious or dying.
Hmm.
And then you guys stripped him while me and Rohan went down
That's right.
after the
Thought
cleric.
we fought him for some reason.
Well, you were going to kill the one that was unconscious, but the younger one threw himself in front and said, don't kill him.
Oh,
And-
the only reason why I was gonna kill him is because I thought he was part of that cleric's crew.
No, just an orc that we found that we don't like orcs.
Well, maybe
Remember
my
we-
actions would have changed then if I would known that he hadn't been fighting us.
It's not an orc, it's a...
Or
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblins.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Travis or Graham didn't slit his throat.
I just thought Graham was being a weirdo.
I've
You guys
never
were
coup
enemies.
de grace anybody.
Casimir,
But
that
they
brings
were
us to you.
enemies.
We got people coming from the bugbear side, you said?
Actually, hang on. As a matter of fact, yeah, from where you're at, you can see the shadow of the bugbear.
Okay.
Dark, as it is cast over the hallway. It's like right around the corner.
All right, so I'll 5 foot if that's his location and attack him.
Get him. Get in between me and Casimir and start.
Yeah,
firing
so that's
arrows.
you can't attack around a corner.
Okay.
So you'd have to do more than 5 feet.
Well, that means he'll have to step up if you ready your action.
Well, that's true, but yeah, I'll do that instead. I'll ready the action and end my
Okay.
turn.
All right. And Graham, so you're moving up the steps. So that's still working out for you. You haven't fallen to your doom or been attacked by a manticore yet. But you still haven't heard anything new or seen anything new. You're just doing this spark. Roll a percentile.
Tower?
No.
Hmm.
Okay.
83 manticores.
Rohan, your turn.
I'll 5 foot step back and behind Fenrith. Still targeting the savage halfling barbarian. And I'm going to try and finish him off. You said you had a potion in your backpack?
I've cure moderate in my backpack.
You said one?
One.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it's a bandolero now.
I got one on my bandolero too, I believe.
Yeah.
I think one of them might have gone bad though.
I'm going to ignore his request to take the potion, because if he goes down, that's the only way to revive him. So I'll full attack the... Holy moly.
Mhm.
2,
All right.
4, 4.
Yeah, your first attack misses, but the other 2 hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
Wow, that is...
That's interesting.
But yeah, that's it.
All right, so basically,
And then I'm going to duck behind Fenrith for if he explodes.
these, one arrow goes right through his throat and the other through his forehead. But to your surprise, he continues to stand and scream.
Arr, frenzied halfling.
Yeah.
Does the one of the monks deflect the missed arrow?
No.
No, he catches it.
Oh yeah, that's what they do. They
Fenrith.
catch or deflect. I believe they're two
Alright.
different feet.
So
Yeah.
I will continue to attack him then. Am I not targeting him?
No, you are.
I am. It doesn't say hit or miss on those.
It's because he's hidden from the combat tracker.
It says he's hit, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I see, yeah.
If that doesn't take him from dying to dead, then we're in trouble.
It don't matter, depending on what level he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably be able to withstand it.
No, what you need to
Well,
do.
there's
Go for it.
there's that one feat that just makes it so that you don't lose consciousness until you're at -10.
Well,
Okay.
the one that makes you not lose consciousness is that way you can withstand the subdual as your hit points drop into the negatives.
All right, so you hit
yeah.
you hit him two more times with your sword and slice him up, and this time he drops.
Okay.
So his axe clatters to the floor, and he's twitching, but he's dead.
What was that feat?
All right. I'll
I believe it's what is it?
So so he falls and he's dead, and these 2 hobgoblins are looking at you now, looking past you towards that bugbear. But then,
if I am able to speak their language, well, they spoke Celestial, right? If I remember right. So yeah, I'll in Celestial, I'll tell them that the unequipped one that is your equipment's in my bag. I'll grab it in a second. I didn't think you'd need it.
So they're looking at you, and then you start to say that, but then, you see come out of that room, this creature comes out of the room into the hallway behind you.
It's not within 15 feet, so I can't really see it.
You can't see it?
Well, I
He's
zoomed in
zoomed
so
in.
far that I can only see the things next to me. It gives you a more realistic combat experience with these tokens.
All right, so this thing is about 4 feet wide, and it's round. It's an orb, but it's got a massive eye right in the center of it, and then a large mouth beneath that with razor sharp teeth.
Do a knowledge arcana?
So it's got six eyes on stalks sprouted out from the rest of the body that are, moving all around and looking at things. The coloration is, it is brown for the most part, but it's got streaks of red in it. Most of the teeth are yellow. And the eye, this big round eye in the center of it has a pupil that is rectangular, like a goat, but it's looking towards you. So it comes hovering out, doesn't touch the ground, it hovers out of that room, looking down in your direction.
I'll call out behind you then, rather than completing what I was saying.
I'll start making.
I do a
character.
knowledge planes to see, or do I know what this thing is?
On your turn, maybe. But no, you don't know what this thing is.
Dungeoneering.
Is it Dungeoneering that would know?
Yeah, for aberrations. Yeah.
So anyway, it comes out and
planes could work for beholders,
alerted
too.
by,
Maybe.
it doesn't make any sound.
Underdark's the
These
for them.
hobgoblins, maybe gauging your reaction, they turn to look at it, and they immediately charge to attack. Where are you?
So, if I grapple this and... Oh no, can I sunder its eyelids so that center eye's always open? That's the safest place to be. Not that I know that.
That's the cone of anti-magic, right?
Yeah.
If it hits me with that, I instantly die. Because that would drop me 30 hit points because of the constitution drop on the amulet and drop me down to 67 hit points max.
I think, let's see. Yeah, me too. As I would have...
I think that would knock you unconscious.
Well, what our amulets were, +6?
Yeah, +6. So, and we're level 10, so 30 hit points. So yeah, you'd be unconscious and dying, but you wouldn't be dead. I'd be at -13. Throw your hands up and proclaim your allegiance to the darkness.
No way. If I'm going to become a lich, it has to be done right.
What is the right way?
I don't know, because they don't really transcribe what the spell requires for its act of ultimate evil.
Well, a good start would be go ahead and finish off me and Rohan.
Yeah.
I think a better start would be flesh shaping us into a giant mech.
That would be probably the cooler start to it.
Right, so you see this, they charge it and they're attacking it. They don't seem to be having much effect. And you see it, the eye stalks moving around, and out of a couple of them you see some green energy strike these hobgoblins. To what effect, you're not sure, but that's what's going on there. So this hobgoblin finally steps out around the corner.
All right. As my attack opportunity, I will trip it. So target it. There we go. This is a touch attack.
Okay.
Oh, is that one?
Yep.
Hero point.
Yeah.
You got 10.
This is
It
gonna
says
be,
I have 0.
But you have 10.
It says 0.
But we know you had 10 from last time.
Yeah, have you used any?
I think I used 1.
We'll give you 9 then.
So, yeah, I'll hero it.
Okay.
Was it meant to be? I can't see that.
Jeez.
2.
This is a 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so the touch attack misses.
Yeah, we're meant to die here.
Yep.
No way. That was real close, most likely. It's a touch attack.
Yeah, which is why we're meant to die.
Nah, you
You got
there.
the only 2 rolls that could have missed.
Well,
There
you
might
make
be
a good
more.
point. Why did your attack miss?
That's because it's
you
not.
rolled a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, but it's not keyed for touch attack. It
Oh.
was just a grapple roll, which is my trip. So that's what I roll.
Well, that would have hit then.
Yeah, I was gonna say
His
you
touch
would have hit
AC
me
is only
twice.
Okay. So
That second attack would hit.
all right. So his strength or dex, whichever's higher, versus my strength or dex. Is he large? Well, if he's large, no, he'd still have to because he can't attack around a corner.
No, he's small. He's medium like
got
you.
this.
It's
Okay.
just a bugbear.
So he doesn't get any bonuses to it.
Where is it? So this is strength versus strength.
If that's his highest one, he can use dex if it's his highest.
Okay, where are you?
Hero point him for the strength check.
Right. So he got a 14. You got a 12.
Yeah. So he can attempt to trip me if he wants, but yeah, my trip fails.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So it's just another strength versus strength.
I don't know if he needs to go through the whole step, but yeah, if we can figure he's probably going to hit the touch AC.
Does he provoke at that point?
I
attack
don't
of
think so
opportunity?
because he might, but I don't
Or
think
does
so.
this
No.
take his action?
No, because this is
No.
like an attack opportunity. So I don't think he would provoke because he's pushing back against
He's
me.
reacting to. Okay.
All right, let me check something real quick. All right, so if you lose, you may immediately react and make a strength check opposed by your dexterity or strength,
All right.
whichever is better. So yeah, let's do strength versus strength. And you win that one.
Okay.
So that's your ready to action?
Yep.
All right. So he'll swing his Morning Star at you. Or will he cast... yeah, he'll swing
missile?
his Morning Star at you.
Okay. Do I still have it? Okay. So I'm going to roll a 1d8 and I'm 1 through 2. Okay. So if he hits, he's going to hit a shadow.
Okay.
12 or better on the shadows. Yeah, he got that.
He got a shadow.
All right. So now I'm down to 5 shadows.
Kale. Okay. And that's your move, Casimir.
Okay. Let's try tripping him again.
Okay.
I'm going to touch attack him. Where is it? There it is. So 23.
That's a hit.
All right. And now his strength or dex, whichever's higher, versus mine.
All right. So you win that one.
All right. So he's tripped. As part of that trip attack, I get an immediate attack action against him. At my base value. Where is it? Come on.
Okay, hang on before you roll that.
Okay.
We put the prone on him.
We know the truth.
Okay.
All right. So my attack against him. 17.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I mean it just clings against it. He's wearing full plate, so you know.
And then my second attack is 5. Nope, that's the wrong one. Dang it.
And
Of course it would.
Of course. Yep.
There we go.
All right, yeah, so you're just not able to get through his armor even with them laying on the ground like that.
All right. That's my turn.
Okay. Graham, so you spark the flint and steel and and then you start moving forward again and you hit your head against something. So you spark it again and you see that at the top you've reached the end of the stairs and now there is where should be a door is now a brick wall. And on your side you can see the original arch door frame from when there was a door there, but
But they bricked
somebody
it up.
bricked it over. Yeah. So that's what you're looking at right now.
Well, bang on
Well,
it in
yeah.
frustration.
That's what you're, yeah.
Start using your dagger to get in the grout or whatever it is in between.
Well, I'll
See
start
that.
with just some maybe crying a little bit, weeping in frustration.
Okay. Yeah, so you're pounding on this brick wall, but it feels pretty solid.
Go back down to the river and water in the mouth, and then use the pressure of you spitting water at it to wear away the brick.
That's a silly idea.
Not for Graham.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any idea of how to get past it. If any sort of brute strength won't do it.
Are you nimble enough to change your molecular structure and phase through?
I think that would be an epic level tumble. DC
Escape
80 or
artist.
something. Or yeah, escape artist.
Well, maybe Tumble's got something where you can tumble into a dimension or something to go ethereal.
Yeah, so that it would be. I'd give my best strength effort. That fails, then
This is where you need that ring of ram.
I guess I'll have to head back down.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so you're just, pound your fist against it, but it doesn't budge, and so that's where you are. It is the one thing you notice as you running your hands over it from back here is that the mortar is pretty thick, and you do have like your thieves' tools. Part of that is a file.
Crowbar.
So I mean, brick walls, are really strong, but
You can't pick them
But
apart.
as soon as a brick is out, then
Yeah, I guess I could try working at it. I'll try get my dagger in there first and then start wearing away at it.
All right.
Although I don't think I have crowbar and thieves' tools. It's a separate item, I believe.
Bloodtooth is going to be furious at you using him for this purpose.
All right. Rohan.
All right. I'm going to kind of step up and away from the cleric and say to Fenrith, I don't know what's going on back there, but as long as they're both distracted and finding each other, I'm going to focus on this bugbear.
Well, he is in full plate. You might have better luck on that other one,
Yeah.
depending.
Not with his attack bonus. He's fine against full
Okay.
plate.
Yeah, my attack bonus kind of negates it.
Does that lightning, is that strong enough to apply the additional effects for being encased in metal?
No.
No. But yeah, I'll fire 3 shots at the bugbear laying down on the ground.
Okay. All right. So first hits, second misses, and third hits. So go ahead and roll 2 damage rolls.
All right, there's 1 and 2.
Okay. Yeah. So you find some creases and stick a couple arrows in them. And that brings us to you, Fenrith. So Fenrith, no, you don't recognize this creature.
Wedge and hammer.
Okay.
Does it have a wedge and a hammer?
Sure. Okay. Attack there.
130 if you want to look at the rules for it.
I will
Or info.
convert third level into Cure Serious.
It wasn't that bad, I guess.
All right. Roll on another 18 hit points are given to you by Fenrith.
What I got with that Cure Moderate last time. And
I think that takes me out of automatic death range if it's...
I'm sorry, Brandon. I'd wanted to move up next to
Me?
Casimir there.
Up here or down here?
Down there is good.
Okay.
And then that'll be me.
All right. Okay, so these 2 hobgoblins continue fighting against that thing down there. And let's see. That'll bring us to the bugbear. All right, so the bugbear will stand up. So that'll provoke from you and Fenrith.
All right, I'll try to trip him again.
Okay?
So touch attack. 25.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Strength check.
Okay.
23.
All right, so you win that.
All right, then my attack of whatchamacallit on him. From the feet. Oh. All right, so another miss.
Okay. All right, the bugbear will stand up. Okay. All right. Then you can see behind him this being up here. So this is an elf, a woman. She's got, some light mithril armor under a black cloak, and she has a staff. She has that same hateful look on her face. She would be beautiful if not for the filed teeth and the red eyes and the look of hatred. But she steps out back there and is looking at you guys. She looks at the bugbear and sneers, but that might just be the expression she always has on her face. Let's see. So she sticks out her hand and fire bursts forth over Casimir and Fenrith. And looks like Casimir succeeded in the save and Fenrith failed. Not that it will matter, but...
oh, yeah, that's right. He's all resistant over there.
Yeah. So, Casimir, 11 fire damage went to you and none went to Fenrith. So, yeah, this fire washes over you, Fenrith, and you don't feel any effect from it. But now it's Casimir's turn.
I got two things I need to keep tripped now, I guess.
It doesn't look like it halved the 9 damage for Casimir. It almost looks like it hit him twice.
Why?
It took a 5 and a 9. As the 5 is halved, the 9 isn't. Unless I'm reading it wrong. I mean, it shows... Well, I guess it would show that I resisted. I don't know.
It sent... Oh, what did it do it twice or something?
That's what it looks like. It looks like it dealt the damage twice.
Yeah, because it gave Casimir 5.
And then me resisted, and then it did 9 to him, not halved.
Weird. Well, I'll take that
he
off
was
there.
at 38 hit points before he got hit.
Okay.
Anyway, I guess I'll just full attack this cleric here.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Let me
Sorry.
get the prone off of there. All right, go ahead.
Dang it.
All right, so the first attack hits.
Okay.
But the second one just clings off his armor.
A lot of 4s coming up, huh?
That's my turn.
Yeah, so you deal 23 damage there. And that brings us to Graham. All right, so you're picking away at the mortar here. Okay. So yeah, you don't know how long you've worked on it, but you've reached the end of the length of Bloodtooth. But you don't know if that means it keeps going or if you've already got to the other side.
Okay, yeah, because it's dark, right?
Yeah, because you can't see. So.
Well, I'll just work all the way around that particular brick.
Okay.
And then see if it's loose enough to start moving out.
All right. Yeah, you get it to that point where you can start wiggling it and it breaks free of the mortar, the rest of the mortar. So you can push it out or pull it towards you. I mean, probably you'd push it. But.
Yeah. Yeah, and once I have that done, assuming nothing visible happens through that little hole that's made, then I'll just start working on the next one.
Okay. All right. So you're working on those. You hear the clunk of it when you push it. It falls to the ground out there, on the other side. You hear that, but that's the only thing you hear. You still don't see any light. Rohan, your turn.
So I'm going to take one attack action and then save my second one to try and distract her, the elf sorceress, should she try and cast again.
Okay.
So...
Well, what is it? What are you doing? Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, or I'm attacking with one action and readying the second attack. Can I do that?
I think you can't.
Yeah, because it's a full attack
action, or
is what
you
you're
could take
doing.
an attack action and another type of action.
Okay, then I'll delay until it's her turn and do a full attack round on her when she tries to cast.
I think you'd be doing a mini shot is what you'd essentially be doing. Cause,
just one action.
Yeah, you can't delay a full action. You can ready an action.
Well, you can delay your turn and then you get your full.
I guess
It
you
just
can do
wouldn't interrupt like a ready action does. It would have to come at after whatever the trigger is rather than before.
Then I'll just ready the mini shot.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Fenrith.
I almost wonder if I should step up so I can get at her too. Well, where are you? This is all full attack, this bugbear.
All right. Yeah, so both of your attacks miss. a look at something here. Okay. All right. Okay. So those hobgoblins have destroyed that floating eye monstrosity down there. Okay. All right. So the bugbear, now that he's up, takes a step back and he begins saying, the words of a spell of some sort. And as the words escape from his lips, suddenly darkness envelops everything, and you can see nothing, and you feel your armor get heavier and things of that nature.
Did this negate all magic, or?
Well, no.
Okay.
No, not really. It just negates anything that would bring light, and it for now is negating like the magical components to your weapons and armors. Let's see what else. Well, let me look. Like your shadows would be gone, Casimir.
All of our stored spells are gone too.
Yeah.
That are in our armor.
Well, you said it was negating stuff that brought light.
Yeah. I mean, what I should have said is that anything that was giving light is not giving light anymore, unless it's natural light, like a torch.
So this is some sort of dispel or anti-magic, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Wouldn't
don't assume that your stored spells will be gone. You don't feel them there. You don't have access to them. But there's nothing to say that if the magic came back, it wouldn't still be there. So don't automatically erase it from your sheet. So what else? What are you specifically wondering about?
Nothing really. Like I guess if he was doing dispel, that the stuff wouldn't come back. So it's not dispel.
I can say that just with your limited experience with Fenrith and divine magic, he didn't do this. Like this clearly happened before he was able to get off his spell. This is
something else.
This is like what had happened to you originally when you came to this land.
Okay.
Where the magic just stopped working, but sometimes would work.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Anyway, so you're in darkness and you hear a surprised outburst as he interrupts, his spell and, cries out in surprise, and you hear the female voice as well next to him say something which you suddenly can't understand, and you hear them running away. It sounds to you like one of them, probably the cleric, trips and falls pretty hard, because then his armor scrapes along the stone. But you hear him scramble back to his feet. Anyway, that brings us to you, Casimir. So you're in total darkness, but you can still feel, because you're shoulder to shoulder with Fenrith, you can still feel him there. But
yeah,
did this deactivate like our rings and amulets as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually would fall unconscious because I would lose 30 hit points.
Oh, you're talking about from the Constitution?
Yeah.
But don't worry about those hit points. If you had hit points from another source, though,
no,
then
just those.
We'll worry about it.
Okay.
All right. So, I guess the only thing I can really do is just kind of put my hand on the wall, most likely to my left, and like call out. Like, is everyone still okay?
I'm okay.
I guess I can, if I theorize that it's something, like it wasn't the cleric, this was something else.
Yeah, just seemed to stop again.
It was like when we first came here. So, that's my turn.
Okay.
This is a vindictive kill list, not mine.
Nice. Sure.
It's not named. It doesn't say who the owner is. So.
Okay, Graham.
Where'd you find that?
All right. How's work progressing?
Yeah, so...
one thing when I make a loud noise, I do want to pause for, say, like a minute and hear if anything moves afterward or is like reacting towards it before I get back to work. Well,
right.
Louder than the sound of filing away that mortar.
Okay. Yeah, so you keep working at that, and mostly it doesn't make a loud noise, but the times that it does, like if the crossguard clangs against the brick or whatever, or however you're doing it. I mean, if you're just like hammering with your chisel, using the pommel of your dagger or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll hit it at the wrong angle and it'll be loud, but you never hear any sound in response to it. So you keep working, and each brick comes out faster than the one before until you've got 5 or 6 of them out, and then it becomes really easy because they're just held in by the 2 short sides and then 1 flat side, and generally getting rid of one of those is enough to be able to pry it out of there. So after a couple hours, you've made a hole big enough to crawl through.
Okay. What kind of terrain do I start running into? Is it moving flat, or do I come into like another set of stairs? Or
it's flat.
Periodically, I'll try to activate the light on Bloodtooth again.
Okay.
Just every now and then.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you continue to not feel him there, and it doesn't work. But other than the pile of bricks that you've knocked out, the next room is flat, and as you spark the flint, you see that you're in it's a 10 by 10 room, and one wall there ends. There's a staircase that leads up. Now here is really thick with dust, and no prints, no footprints, to show that anybody's been here in a long time. That's what it looks like for you. So you can just, like, with that spark, you can see the first couple of stairs, just enough to know that it leads up.
Yeah, I might stop doing that, I think, and just try to feel my way.
Okay. All right. Rohan.
So I always keep like my basic survival gear on me. So I've got my flint and steel, and I'll try and rummage that around and see if sparking that actually creates light.
Okay, hang on a second.
Oh, we might be. I was going to say we might have reverse rules for being blinded, like the opposite of drow and orcs when they step into light, because we've just been plunged into super darkness. So like the little flint might not work, but it's D&D.
Okay. All right. So you go rustling around in there looking for your flint and steel, you say?
It should just be on my belt.
Okay.
It's been replaced with blades of grass. Actually, it's the one Graham is using.
Probably.
He even has Rohan carved into it.
Everybody roll a listen. Okay. So you're digging for your flint and steel, and you hear a soft, scrape of a boot on stone over in the direction that Casimir and Fenrith were. That's the only sound you hear besides rustling in the rustling you're making, looking for your flint and stone.
Yeah, that'll kind of hurry me a little bit more, and I'll say to Fenrith and Casimir, someone's near you.
It's probably me walking towards the wall.
It's not clanging, so just start swinging wildly.
I like to imagine mithril because it's lighter. It just sounds like when you crumple aluminum. There's no clang to it. That's what adamantine's for.
Oh, I imagine that resistance is probably gone too then, Brennan.
When does that resistance last?
A long time. Still got 108 rounds on mine.
What resistance are you talking about?
The resist.
Oh,
resist
acid.
acid.
We're not worried about that.
Okay. So do I hear something move?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. So, Rohan, you go digging around for your flint and steel, and you pull it out of the pouch and you spark it, but and it does give a little flash of light, but you don't see anything in that flash of light.
Okay. If I have time left over, I'll try and get to the torch in my pack.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you can find it.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'll ready to light it next round.
All right, Fenrith.
So yeah, I mean basically I was looking to do the same thing as grab out a torch and flint and steel.
All right.
To light it.
I actually had the presence of mind to keep one
I'll,
torch in my
I'll
inventory.
bend
on my
low
person.
though to do it.
I've
Put
never
the
had
torch like between my knees to go strike against it. Way when somebody tries to punch me in the face, I won't be there.
Okay.
What if they go to kick you in the groin?
All right,
Then
so
they're gonna kick me in the face.
with both of you working
It's a
to get
win-win.
your torches lit, you're working on that, and then you hear the sound of more flint and steel, and
Everyone.
Hurry!
yeah. So then
Everybody's scared of the dark.
you see some light burst forth from a torch.
And then all Graham hears from where he is the sounds of.
All the scraping.
Wow, it's really echoing in here.
Yeah, so that area lights up there, and you see the younger hobgoblins got the torch, and Fenrith, you see that the older one has now just finished putting his hand wraps back on. You see he's got his stuff back.
So we had the rings, potions.
Yeah, all the stuff you took from him.
Pulled a Ninja Turtle on you.
Delete.
You got
delete an entire row.
Yeah, so anyway, you're working on now, a couple seconds after that, you guys get your torches up, and they have theirs, and they're standing there looking at you.
Even the book.
Yeah, everything you took is gone. Yeah, so Rohan, that's when it occurs to you that sound you heard, one of them made a sound. You didn't feel them or hear them going past you, but they did make one sound that alerted you to the fact that they were moving. But now they're standing over here and looking towards you. What do you do? It will be Casimir.
I guess I'll rattle through some languages.
Okay.
Let's see what I got here. Abilities? No. Notes? Let's see. I guess I got Goblin and Orc. Kind of like do you understand me in both of them?
Yeah, they do understand Goblin. So like you asked that, and they respond. It's a totally different dialect, but an accent.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able to understand it.
All right. So, yeah, I don't know who you are, but I don't mean you any harm if you don't mean me any harm, is what I'll tell them.
Okay.
I guess that's my turn.
So the adult gives some hand signals, and the younger one answers that you're not like the other elves who are our enemies, and we do not wish to be your enemy.
Do I recognize the hand signs?
You recognize it as a sign language, but
Okay.
you don't understand it yourself. Their particular brand of it. Graham, you reach the bottom of the stairs, and you just wanted to go by feel.
Yeah, I
without
think
striking
so.
your flint and tinder.
Yeah.
Okay, so you move up the stairs a ways, and then suddenly you start to see a faint light up ahead. So like you're on hands and knees crawling up this staircase, right? Feeling around. And you go up a ways, and then you can see a faint light coming from the top of the stairs.
I get a little excited at the prospect, but I managed to hold on to caution, so I'll still keep a slow, as silent as I can be, pace towards this light.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll and move silently. Then let's see how well you do it without your. You here. Let me fix your character so you don't have to think about it. All right, now go ahead and make your move silently. Wow. So yeah, even without your cloak or whatever,
Yeah.
you still get a 26. So you have no troubles making no sound as you move up this staircase. So let me share this, and you can move yourself where you want to go. Okay.
I can't see anything yet. I don't know if that's because it hasn't loaded all the way in. I only see my token, I should say.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's loaded then.
Right. So yeah, you rolled a 26, and so you're crawling up these stairs towards that light, and you're not making any sounds at all.
Yeah, it didn't affect my move silently because I think it's just on hide for that cloak, right? It's the
I
boots
thought your
that
boots.
he's got the sneaky boots.
Oh,
I got
right,
the
right.
haste
Okay.
boots.
All right. Can you see it now?
No. Yeah, still nothing. There we go.
Okay. All right. So you're moving that direction. And let me show you what you see here.
Yeah, peek around. It looks like a corner there. I'll actually try to hide in the cover of the corner as well.
So you get up to here, and you see a bugbear standing here with his back to that corridor, so he can look down both ways when he needs to, and he's sort of dozing on his feet.
Master always said, "Let sleeping bugbears lie."
Yeah.
Bloodtooth also always said, go for the kidneys.
So, yeah, that's what you see. What do?
Yeah, I'm just not the murderer yet. I'm gonna try to sneak past him.
You're going to try to see.
I'm an honorable killer.
Okay. All right.
So I'll do half speed so I don't take a penalty.
Okay.
Do you want a new roll or...
Yeah.
Doom, 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 doom.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so, when I can see down, I'll pause for a moment just to look down that doorway he was standing by and see where I'll go from there.
All right. So you get to here, and so you get to the top of the steps, and you can see him sort of dozing there, like, sort of swaying a little bit, and then a bright light flashes in your eyes, and you find yourself, which this has happened before, but you're in a body that you don't recognize, right? You realize that you're in a different body than you should be, and you can see the thoughts and understand the thoughts that are bouncing around in that body, and it feels alien to you in an extreme way. But the first thing that you focus in on is the impossible arrogance of the creature you inhabit, and the completeness of its love for itself. It's just so extreme that it's hard for you, with your mind, to understand it. And the other emotion that you feel is a rotting hatred for everyone else, but for one person in particular more than any other, and that's a silver dragon that even right now stands in its private quarters high above the streets that themselves run high above your hidden lair, because you reside as deep as you can go, which is always just a little higher than you wish you could be, because you know what the Dragon King would do if he found out about you down here. And that makes you hate him even more, the fact that you have no choice but to fear him so, because you believe so greatly in your own power, but there's like a cognitive dissonance, because you have to accept that he's superior, but you can't accept that he is. So you hide down here, and you recognize that this creature runs some sort of network of thieves and spies and assassins from way down here. And this hatred is also because this Dragon King and his agents specifically have foiled so many of your plans and stolen so much of your illicitly gained treasures, especially those of a magical kind, because that Dragon King selfishly wants those for himself, which is offensive to you that he could be so selfish and greedy. And it doesn't occur to this creature, but it occurs to you how funny it is that he's so disgusted by the greed of the Dragon King, despite his own greed being almost a match, probably, because you were in the Dragon King last time you had a vision like this, and you don't remember this sort of greed. It wasn't this gross. This one feels disgusting.
The dragon's version, a sort of paternal outlook on this is the best way to do it for everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh. I was going to ask, so the Graham persona is still there to a degree when I'm in these bodies?
Yeah, you're still a separate,
okay,
for the most part.
And I made that connection that the silver dragon vision I had is I'm getting a different perspective, but of that same vision.
Yeah, you recognize that dragon in the mind of this creature as the one that you were in. But right now, another emotion that flashes through this creature's mind is a sort of giddy excitement, because unlike before, it has a solid, workable plan that it's formed that would see it take its vengeance on the arrogant Dragon King, and very soon. So now more images start to flash through your mind, and many of them are too unfamiliar for you to make any sense of. But eventually it lands on something solid as this body you inhabit moves to a large mirror, and you're finally able to see through the reflection what body you inhabit. And it's a massive floating orb with a huge single eye and an enormous mouth filled with jagged razor-sharp teeth, and it has 10 stalks that end in eyes of their own. They extend from its body on all different sides, and they look in all directions. And the body of this creature is like, the coloration is like camouflage, right? Brown and green and black mixed in this weird.
So is this the same one I had the previous? Flat. It's a different one.
Yeah, this is a different. Wait, when did you have the previous?
I'm a little foggy on it, but I just looked crazy to everybody else talking about it.
Yeah, it was when we first got thrown back into the past.
Yeah, you recognize this is the same one, although the coloration seems to be different. So,
insofar as I could recognize the aberration of being the same one.
Right, but yeah, it's the same one. All right, so then these images start to like fade in their power, and you can sort of feel blackness coming to take you away. But the final thought is that this plan is, when the Dragon King marches to war, his wife and children will be left behind, and that's when you're going to take the opportunity to strike. And it's not just the petty retribution, but there's a reason for it. And so you can sort of see or feel, or both, how this creature's plan is to use the blood and even the souls of the Dragon King's wife and children to make him so powerful that the Dragon King will have to bow to him, right? So you don't get more details about the plan other than that broad outline, but that's the vision you have. And, and then suddenly blackness takes you, and the last sight you have is being Graham again, but right as you hit the ground there in front of that bugbear, where that bugbear's sleeping. Okay, and then Casimir and Rohan and Fenrith. So this kid does all the talking. Whenever his father has something to say, he signs it too, and then the kid will translate. But basically, the kid catches on pretty quickly that it's too slow to communicate that way. And so he sort of gets impatient, and he just starts telling you what's going on without waiting for his dad.
Okay.
But he says that that they understand why you thought that they might be enemies before, but because they thought the same of you, but that now they realize that you aren't enemies, and they hope that you realize they aren't either, and that they have many of their people have been taken prisoner over the years, but especially recently, that's why these two are down here, is to try to effect a rescue, because these elves and their masters use their people in dark rituals, sacrifices.
Well, perhaps our objectives overlap, because we're down here to halt a ritual. So perhaps we can help each other.
And to now possibly rescue a friend.
Yeah, I don't know what they're saying, but in Celestial, I'll tell them that we lost a companion, back at the door to the turret room.
20 feet back.
As
40.
Yeah.
Right around the corner.
He fell through the floor.
Yeah.
Is there a lower part of this, whatever this is, fortress?
The younger one answers you in Celestial, and he says that the elders say there is no end to how low it goes here. Some say even throughout the other side of the earth.
What is this
but
place?
Your friend is likely dead, because unless he has the sort of training that our elders do, a fall of a certain height will pretty much kill anybody.
Until I see his body, I wouldn't count anything out. Not for that guy. But yeah, I mean, what is this place?
Well, he thinks for a bit before he answers you. He and then finally he says, "We don't know what it is entirely. The elders say that it used to be that at least this section of it used to be the very outer reaches of mining tunnels of the dwarven city called Underhome that used to be the grandest city in the world anywhere. But for all of any of our people can remember, these savage elves have inhabited it, along with monsters that they create or that ally with them, that roam its depths.
Have the elves always been like this?
As long as any of my people know.
Are you guys originally from this this plane?
What do you mean plane?
This world.
Well,
This
yeah.
land.
Where else would we be from?
Well,
Like, he gets smart about it.
I'll
kids do.
give him a very condensed version of Cradle.
Yeah,
Of what that
he begins
was.
pontificating.
Yeah, he yawns and
And-
falls asleep.
It was
Yeah, I think you're almost better with like real and then like spirit
yeah.
and then like afterlife.
Get him
Well-
excited by preaching about Coral on Orith.
Yeah.
Or he says that the library back in their city only goes back so far.
Okay.
But as far as it goes, as far as anybody knows, the elves and the hobgoblins, the red dust have always been at war. Right, and so
Well, what was your guys' mission here?
we're here to rescue our people that have been captured.
Okay. And do you know where they're being held?
No,
Well,
We need to find a common language.
yeah. I'll ask them if they do speak other than
I already rattled through
Oh, you
my
did?
languages.
Okay. Do either of them know Elven? I'll ask them that. Like, do you understand? Well, their Elven was different than ours, unless it was I don't know what language they were actually speaking.
Like I said, I already rattled through mine.
yeah, they understood when Casimir spoke in Goblin,
Mm-hmm.
barely. I mean, enough to communicate, and they understand Celestial. But the Elven language you've heard here from these ones is so different that it's recognizable as having come from the same, but
What is
Okay.
it, like black speech or whatever
yeah,
from Lord of the
sort like
Rings?
that, yeah.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
yeah, I don't know. We know we have someone that we need to find.
Well, perhaps we should work together.
That was my thinking as well. And
I think the ritual takes precedent. And most likely, if these things or these people are being sacrificed for rituals, that's our best bet.
yeah, that's probably where we'll find the people that they're looking for. Hopefully that's not, well, hopefully we find Graham before that.
Perhaps. I mean, but right now, if what was said to us at when we came here is true, I mean, it doesn't matter whether Graham lives or dies. We have to complete this mission, or a bunch of more is going to be lost.
It's the same old rope-a-dope, John.
Yep. Is just bash on Graham, leave him behind.
So I guess I'll turn to the younger hobgoblin, seeing as he's the one that addresses me, and I'll say in Goblin that I'm Casimir, and I hope we can find your people. Lead on if you know, or if you have any clue.
Okay.
If not, we got a bugbear potentially nearby that we can question.
Yeah, as soon as we run that guy down.
Yes, we will travel and fight with you then.
I don't trust him. When I click on the target all enemy units, it targets them.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
See.
Okay, he's good now. You converted him.
Oh, we just needed to grind enough faction.
Okay, and that's where we'll stop for today.
Awesome.
Thanks,
V.
I'd completely misunderstood or didn't even realize that those guys weren't enemies in the very beginning, man. That was just...
This has been a Death Watch production. Thank you for listening.